Hello, hi, my name is Anne, and today we're going to read Lost and Found by Oliver Jeffers. What do you see in the cover? I see a little boy. I see a penguin. And I see an umbrella. Umbrella. Let's read the story and find out. Once there was a boy. Boy. We've learned this before. Bambino o ragazzo. And one day this little boy found a penguin at his door. The boy didn't know where it had come from, but it began to follow him everywhere. So this little penguin followed the boy wherever he went. The penguin looked sad, and the boy thought it must be lost. So the boy decided to help the penguin find its way home. He checked in the Lost and Found office, but no one was missing a penguin. He asked some birds if they knew where the penguin came from, but they ignored him. Some birds are like that. Birds, jelly. The boy asked his duck. Duck, do you have a little duck in your tub? But the duck floated away. He didn't know. That night, the boy couldn't sleep for disappointment. He wanted to help the penguin, but he didn't know how. Do you ever feel like that sometimes when you want to do something or help someone, but you don't know how? Yeah. The next morning, he discovered that penguins come from the South Pole. But how could he get there? He ran down to the harbor and asked a big ship to take him to the South Pole. But his voice was much too small to be heard over the ship's horn. The little boy asked the big ship, "Big ship, can you help me get to the South Pole?" But the big ship was too big and its horn was too loud, so nobody heard the little boy's voice. So together, he and the penguin would row to the South Pole. Oh dear, so they decided to row to the South Pole. The boy took his rowboat out of the cupboard and they tested it for size and strength. They packed everything they would need. Everything, sandwiches, drinks, snacks, books, everything. And together they pushed the rowboat out to sea. They rowed south for many days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They rowed the boat for many days. And nights too. With the boy telling stories all the way. The penguin listened. The penguin listened to everything that the boy said. Oh no, a storm. They floated through the good weather and bad weather when the waves were as big as mountains. Waves on the waves. And look, there is a storm. It seems like there is a storm. Storm. Until they came to the South Pole. They finally made it to the South Pole. The boy was delighted, happy, contento. But the penguin said nothing. Suddenly, it looked looked sad again as the boy helped it out of the boat. So the penguin didn't seem happy. The boy said, "Goodbye, penguin. Now you're home. Ora sei a casa. So bye-bye, penguin," and floated away. But as he looked back, the penguin looked sadder, sadder, more sad. It felt strange to be on his own, and the more he thought, the more he realized he was making a big mistake. The penguin wasn't lost. He was just lonely. Quickly, he turned the boat around and headed back to the South Pole as fast as he could. At last he reached the pole again. But where was the penguin? The boy searched and searched, and he was nowhere to be found. He kept looking for the penguin, but he didn't find the penguin. Where do you think the penguin was? Look, I think the penguin was going back to search for the boy, and the boy was going back to the South Pole to search for the penguin. Sadly, the boy set off for home, so he looked everywhere for the penguin. He couldn't find the penguin, and he decided, okay, it's time to go home. There was no point telling stories because there was no one to listen except the wind, vento, and the waves. Onde. But then the boy saw something in the water ahead of him. Closer and closer and closer he got until he could see. What do you think he saw? The penguin! The penguin rowing in an umbrella. And finally they hugged. And so the boy and his friend, the penguin, went home together, talking of wonderful things all the way. The end. Did you enjoy this story? I did. Now I'll see you next time with another interesting story. Bye for now.